It's a city where anything can happen, so what could go wrong or right as I hit up LA Unscripted. Restaurants, salons, museums are open for business finally. And as we get back to it, let LAU be your go-to guide. Hi everyone, I'm Dana Devon at Japan House LA, and they are thrilled to be opening their doors again at Hollywood and Highland.
Japan House is a public cultural diplomacy initiative launched by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Japan. During the last 1 year, we switched everything online. But our policy is to provide experiences of Japan to people with the 5 senses without going to Japan. We started to open our gallery space with exhibition since early in April. So gradually, slowly, they come. We do have virtual tour of the gallery and the exhibition on our website, but there's nothing like seeing it with your own eyes.
After being stuck in our homes for over a year, we could all use some culture. But don't turn us off, because this kind of TV is good for you. Did you know the first electronic television was invented in 1927 by a 21-year-old? Yep, Philo Taylor Farnsworth. And just like coming to Japan House takes us a world away, TV transports us too, plus serves as a visual history of how far we've come and yet still have to go. Call that Deep Thoughts by Double D, you're welcome. Basically, TV can change culture and shape lives, and that is exactly what TV legend Suzanne Somers did.
Well, I don't think anyone ever thinks of themselves as remarkable, but I have learned a lot in the years that I've lived, and I've lived quite a life. I was raised by a violent, abusive alcoholic. I was pregnant as a teenager. I gave birth 1 month after my 19th birthday. And when they pulled his little body from me, I promised, I'm going to make a good life for you. And so I fulfilled that promise. You know, when I signed on for Three's company, I would have taken the part of a monkey. I would have let them pay me anything. But 6 years into it, my contract was up, and I was not only on the #1 show in the country, I had the highest demographics of any woman in television. And yet all the men, or most all the men, were making between 10 and 15 times more than I was. Or I just want you to pay me what you're paying the highest paid men, because nobody can do better than #1, and I'm #1. I didn't know they had planned to fire me when we walked into that meeting, to make an example of me so that no other woman in TV, and probably film too, would have the audacity to think that they could be paid equal. It wasn't until about a year ago that people started noticing, wait a minute, Suzanne Somers was the first one who ever be asked to be paid equal with men. What is remarkable about my life, I don't know about me as a woman, is that the highs and the lows, and that I used all the lows as opportunities to, I kind of liken it like judo, using forward energy to win. If you follow the flow of your personal journey, you can't fail.
I've known Suzanne for years, and I love her so much. She is so nice and so cool and so inspiring in every way. Okay, do you have a dream you want to manifest? Well, we are here to help.
It's our ability as a species to hope and to imagine something greater for ourselves. And that is a very powerful practice when it becomes conscious. My name is Shauna Cummins. I am a hypnosis practitioner and trainer and newly published author. Wishcraft. It is part magical wishing book, part practical self-hypnosis guide to help you kind of manifest a positive future. So using our intention, attention over time, we can start to change where our mind goes on a default basis, and wishing other people well, and wishing yourself well, wishing other people well. It opens you up to a place of support. You know, just as one of my incantations that I have, you know, throughout the rituals and the wishcraft ceremonies, just as I wish well for myself, may your wishes come true.
And as we reopen, we want Unscripters to get out there and live your best life possible. And that includes eating ice cream, lots of it, without guilt. And now Megan Tellis is here to help that dream come true.
I scream, you scream, we all scream for Brave Robot Ice Cream. Paul Kolosov, thank you so much for being here today. You're the co-founder of Brave Robot Ice Cream. Tell me all about it. Why is it so good and so healthy for you?
We realized about 6 years ago that plant-based ice creams just taste terrible. So we decided to figure out why. And what we found out is that it's the dairy in dairy that makes dairy taste great. We found another way of making the proteins you will get from animals without animals. Everybody knows about fermentation. It's used to make beer and kombucha. We use the same technique. It's nothing new, so we take yeast, we feed them sugars, and we use fermentation, which is an age-old technique. What that gives you is the creamy, drippy, melty feel you want from ice cream.
So when people are eating this and it tastes good, it's not that it's sugar coated with something irregular. It is something that is all natural.
So it's a world's first. It's the end of a long process, but for us, it's the start of something really exciting because this starts with Brave Robot Ice Cream, which is available all over the country now, but can go into all of the dairy products.
Why is it called Brave Robot?
Yeah, we had this vision of a Wall-E type character that was just fighting against this food system that's broken. So we always say dairy's great, but the way dairy's made is broken. Yeah, we have 8 flavors available today, from the classics like a lot of chocolate and vanilla and peanut butter and fudge, but we have some real fan favorites coming through. A hazelnut chopped chunk, which is hazelnut butter and chocolate swirls in there. And we have our raspberry white truffle, which people are loving.
Who gets to taste test?
We must have tasted, with me and my kids, probably 200 different samples as we were going through this process. So there's ice cream all over the house. The kids love it. Their friends love it.
And I love the simplicity of the packaging. What goes into being creative with that?
We wanted to make it as sustainable as possible so that the packaging is recyclable, and we wanted to use the least ink possible. Based all over the country, but we make this ice cream in Arizona. In SoCal, we're in Ralph's and Sprouts and going into Gelson's.
Do we see more sustainable foods in the future?
Yeah, our vision is to create more sustainable foods, but without compromise. I would say try it. Tasting is believing.
Healthy or not, I'll eat a ton of ice cream, and it is so worth it. And by the way, so are we. Coming up, revamp your wardrobe with environmentally conscious clothing. Try some on. Plus, get and stay inspired. Local franchise owners share their personal stories. And a Mother's Day giveaway. LA Unscripted from Japan House will be right back. Are you craving global adventure but aren't ready to travel yet? Don't worry, we've got your ticket. Now in the heart of Hollywood, discover Japanese art, food, and culture without a passport. Welcome back to LA Unscripted from Japan House at Hollywood and Highland. I'm Dana Devin, and I am in awe of this architectural delight.
There's the second floor. Many people on the street are tempted to come in, so it's like everybody is welcome. The 5th floor is a little bit separate from the rest of the facilities of Hollywood and Highland. It's a destination place, and we provide serenity, something very special to our place, because you just don't hear the sound of Hollywood. So it's almost like as if you were in Japan. So that's a different types of experiences.
In recent trying times, this is such a special place to visit to remind us what a beautiful world we live in. So we better take care of it.
We really don't sell anything that comes in single-use plastic. We use paper tape. We often use recycled boxes. Our shopping bags, if people really want one, are made from recycled paper. Work with a lot of wonderful small makers to make soaps, make personal care products, make herbal medicine. We sell a lot of herbal medicine, things like fire cider and elderberry extract, things that can help boost our immune system right now. I had a business partner initially. She had talked about wanting to open a store that would highlight the work of artists and designers within our community, which was a predominantly queer community in Los Angeles. When I first launched the Future is Female t-shirt back in 2015, we were donating a portion of the proceeds to Planned Parenthood. And that became a way for me to feel like I was using my power, privilege, and voice for something positive.
And from thoughtful threads to local mindful McDonald's. May is Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, and now our friends from America's favorite franchise reveal how their restaurants serve far more than fast food.
I have a really special memory about my first time at McDonald's. So we were immigrants, and we had immigrated to the DC area. And at that time, the Big Mac was 65 cents. My parents were making $1.50 an hour, you know? And so when they did the calculation, they realized, wow, you know, a meal for us is going to cost more than what they made in an hour. They decided, you know, we can't afford this. So my dad said that he felt really bad and embarrassed. And when we were standing outside and he was holding my hand, he said, you know, gosh, it would be great one day if I could own this McDonald's, you know? And who would have ever known that, you know, I would one day become a McDonald's franchisee and own my own. Hi, I'm Patty, and we are at my McDonald's today on Fairfax and Pico.
I grew up in Malaysia, and I was 17 when I came here. I started working at McDonald's right away. I worked as a part-time shift manager. I see the potential. Hi, my name is T. Chang. I'm the owner-operator of this location, McDonald's on La Brea, Obama Boulevard. My son and I operate 13 locations.
I think working summer jobs in high school here at McDonald's, it kind of gave me a good foundation and set me up for long-term what I would have as a career here.
McDonald's, it's part of the American dream for us, you know, especially the AAPI community.
That was a McDonald's opportunity. You would think it's just working behind the counter on the drive-thru, but it's not. Customer service, teamwork, responsibility, accountability. When we open up those doors, we want to give the best service. Ms. June has never asked us to do that, but you kind of know. It's implied in our job. We are McDonald's. So we do everything to make sure everything is smooth for everyone. Myself, my management, and our crew, and our community, of course.
10% of franchisees are Asian Americans.
For us, when we kind of support each other, we can make a bigger impact in our communities. You know, both Asian as well as other ethnicities too. If you want to become a franchisee, you really have to be passionate about your people, both in front of and behind the counter. You know, we understand the importance of the customers. They obviously pay our bills, but also the people working behind the counter, they really drive the business and they make the business grow.
You really have to get involved with the community to operate a restaurant. You have to know your customers. So McDonald's encouraged us to get involved with the community. In fact, they rate us, they grade us on community involvement.
I still have the first $20 that we, I made as a McDonald's franchisee. McDonald's has really afforded me that opportunity to fulfill your dream, because if you dream, it can really happen. There's times where it seems like it's impossible, but if you don't give up on your dream, it is very, very possible, because I'm standing here right now.
I love these inspiring stories. And did you know the McDonald's brothers opened their first restaurant right here in SoCal in 1927 next to the Monrovia Airport? Can I have some fries with that shake? Okay, we are cooking now. Coming up, LAU road trip into Lake Powell, plus the code word to win a Mother's Day swag bag. LA Unscripted from Japan House, Los Angeles is back before you can finish those fries.
We're very lucky to occupy this particular space on the 5th floor because, as I say, you can still enjoy the Hollywoody atmosphere, ambience, but then once you step into this area, this section, you have completely different types of experience. Not quite sure if people in Hollywood welcome us because we're not part of the Hollywood culture per se. They welcomed us.
We are celebrating Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month here at Japan House, and this is an LA must. You know what else is a must? A road trip. We took one to Lake Powell and think you should too.
Lake Powell is one of the most scenic lakes, if not the most scenic lake in the country. My name is Jared Veers and I am the manager at Wahwee Boat Rentals at Lake Powell. Boating is huge. You want to go wake surfing, wakeboarding, water skiing, jet skis. This is the place to be. Lake Powell is the second largest man-made reservoir. It also has more shoreline than the entire western coast of the United States. 1953 was when they began construction on the dam. It took them about 10 years in total to build, 3 years, 3 months just to pour concrete. So 1963, they finished pouring concrete and the lake starts filling, but it wasn't until about 16 years later that the lake was filled to the level of full pool. This is the premier destination for houseboating. Get the kids, the grandparents, everybody on board for a houseboat.
12 people when we're traveling on this boat, but once you hit your beach, you can put 15, 20 because you can sleep up top.
It's your little boatel. You got a fridge, you got a gas-powered grill, you got a stove, oven, all your utensils, cooking supplies. Really all that you need to bring is your food and your clothes. Linens on the beds.
We've taken the time to put together a video for your viewing before you get here. Once you get here, we take 2 captains, 3 captains, and the other people in your party are loading up your boat, and we take 2 or 3 captains through the boat, doing the instructions about an hour. So we kind of make it easy for you. This is a lot of people's bucket list on Lake Powell here. Just because of the remoteness, the beauty to where you can get away with your family, with your friends. Come on out. We are waiting for you. Our doors are open and we'll leave the light on for you.
Like RVs, houseboat rentals skyrocketed during the pandemic. And now if you book 2 nights at Lake Powell Resort, you get a 3rd night free. Tell them we sent you. You're welcome. All right, now let's see what Jessica Holmes has for us.
Okay, I got smoke, but that's good because I'm gonna cook up some steak. I got flank steak and onion rings, but it's gonna be a salad. So first, I've got my cast iron skillet very hot. And because flank steak is so thin, you want a really hot pan because you don't wanna cook it very long. So I've left the meat out, and I think that's one of the things when I cook steak and meat I've learned, you want it to get to room temperature. This has been out for probably an hour. We're gonna stick this in our skillet, get a nice char going, and don't touch it. And then over here, I've got some oil heating up, and we're gonna make onion rings. All I did, take a white onion, cut it into thin rings, and I'm gonna drop it in. If you have buttermilk, that would be even better. Get everything coated. We've got a Ziploc baggie with some flour. I added some salt and garlic powder. Onions go in, and then we shake, and we drop them in the oil, and that's it. That's onion rings. Okay, onion rings are done. Our dressing, blue cheese dressing. So I've got some mayo, some Worcestershire, a little red wine vinegar, just for some tang, some salt, and then I would say use sour cream, or I'm gonna use labneh, and then we're gonna stir that up. We're gonna cut up some chives. So some chives going in, and then crumbled blue cheese dressing, done. Take a big platter. I have romaine and I have like a mixed lettuce. All right, let's cut into our steak. We're gonna pile up our steak. Look at these pretty tomatoes. Some cherry tomatoes. Tuck those in there. Now, let's check on my roasted potatoes. Little baby potatoes in the oven, 425. Salt, olive oil, pepper. They're nice and crispy. And then we'll put these here on the end. We need a little of this. Dinner is served.
And this is the show that keeps giving, so listen up. Now is your chance to win this Mother's Day beauty bag. Text the code word BEST to 515151 for your chance to win this Mama's Little Helper. She will be a coif queen with African pride. The And Life app offers a holistic approach to getting in shape. Baketivity delivers cute kits to your kitchen. Meaningful messages from Fortune and Frame Jewelry, plus so much more to make her day. Again, text BEST to 515151. All right, and that is all I got in my swag bag. Thank you so much, Japan House, for celebrating Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month with us. Where will we be next? You never know, but right now, I'm gonna go check out some art. Mwah! We'll see you next time.